1 year ago, Dave Villwock took home the Columbia Cup trophy driving the Pico American Dream. Now he's driving Miss Budweiser with 4 wins in a row. Today, a dozen other teams will try to stop that streak on Washington's Columbia River. The Jasper Unlimited Hydroplane Thunder Tour Series. Next. Kennewick and Pasco, Washington, locally known as the Tri-Cities, home of the Budweiser Columbia Cup and home to thousands of hydroplane fans who've come to witness the halfway point of the 1997 Jasper Unlimited Hydroplane Thunder Tour presented by Las Vegas, the first race of 3 back-to-back weekends. It is a beautiful sunny day along the Columbia River. It's going to be hot here, but nowhere near as hot as the field, the fastest qualifying field ever in the history of unlimited hydroplane racing. Hi, everybody. I'm John Nicholson. Welcome to the Tri-Cities area of Washington. The man to beat here, once again, Dave Villwock, who qualified at over 163 miles an hour in the Miss Budweiser. But there are half a dozen boats or so who are fairly close this time. Dave also has the opportunity to tie a record for the most heats won in a row. That would be 20. If he gets all 4 here, he will tie the late Dean Chenoweth.
The record's really tough. I mean, especially now in the new heat format that the second heat's reversed. So I don't get to start from anywhere on a start clock like they used to when they set all those records. The second heat, I have to start from the worst position on the race course, which is outside of the fastest field of boats in history here this weekend. So it's going to be a big pass, but you know, we've been there before. We're just going to give it our best shot.
Mark Tate on the close call is making it an even closer call now, qualifying within 2 miles an hour of the Budweiser. The team has improved tremendously in recent weeks and now stands in second place in the O'Doul's point standings.
Going against Ms. Budweiser, you know, we got to keep the pressure on her. She's got a big points lead on us, and if we can keep some pressure on her, beat her in a few heats, maybe push her, maybe they can start having some bad luck down there at that end, and we can close up the gap and make a real race for the championship.
Here are the qualifying speeds for the field. Note the first 7 boats are within 5 miles an hour of each other. Now, earlier today in testing, Mark Evans drove the Pico boat to a speed of 164. Remember, Pico's had troubles throughout the earlier races. The rivalry between Bud and Pico hasn't happened. More on that from 3-time Columbia Cup winner Tom Dean.
Pico American Dream, last year's national champion, driven this year by Mark Evans. His fate has been sealed early in the last couple of final heats with a couple of DNFs. Mark, that's got to be frustrating.
It was really frustrating to run as well as we did prior to that, winning a few heats, then getting out there in the final and going down. It was discouraging.
You qualified 3rd, but then you had some problems in practice?
We went out and was testing the boat, and we ended up throwing a propeller blade off, which ended up ruining the strut. But the guys stayed up all night, got a new strut put on the boat, and we're ready to go.
Well, you did real good this morning, went out doing a 164. It's got to make the whole team feel better.
Oh, yeah, they were all grins when I came back to the dock. They were pumped up. That makes me feel good, makes everybody feel good. So woke up the rest of the crews. We're ready to race, and I think we're going to have some good racing today.
Let's check the O'Doul's points coming in after 4 events. Miss Budweiser, of course, is on top. Close call now in second place, and DeWalt Tools holding on for 3rd. And a quick look at the course here.
It's a 2.5-mile oval with a fast current which carries the rough water into the turns.
And we'll talk about that more as we go through the heats. 2 rookies qualified here. John Watkins in the Miss Tri-Cities, the fastest rookie qualifier ever. So what surprises him about driving an unlimited?
The wake-up call on the big boats here versus racing the limiteds is the G-forces. When you go into the corner at 180 miles an hour and don't lift your foot, it slams you hard up against the side of the cockpit. So it's a lot of G-force out there.
We are just about set to go with Heat 1A. Mark Haight draws the inside lane. Mark Evans right next to him, and his brother Mitch in lane 3. The trailer in this one will be the rookie John Watkins in Miss Tri-Cities. The pace boat will bring them up to the starting line, looking for that green flag here. And we've got it. Pico in lane 2, close call in lane 1. Mark Evans making a pretty good run off the start, but so far, Tate is holding it into the turn here. The turns are crucial.
Very tight corners here, 1,100 feet, but close calls leading the Pico going into the corner, running a fast line through that turn.
With each successive lap, and this is a 3-lap heat, it gets rougher, particularly on that downstream turn. Now, Evans has grabbed the lead in lane 2 over close call. Looks like Mark Tate had a tough time going through there.
And the Pico getting a little bit light on the backstretch. Mark Tate in hot pursuit in second place on the inside.
Tate trying to make up a little bit of water there on Mark Evans. And he gets a little bit light.
Whoa, very light. We're on board with Mark Tate now. You can see the rooster tail off to the right. He's chasing the Pico American Dream. What Mark Evans is doing is giving him some bad water. He's got to cross the way.
Mark Tate is a heck of a driver, bringing the close call back after a tough start. Fred Leland, the owner of the Pico, looking on, and he is really into it. As we check from the Labatt Eye in the Sky, you can see the race for second now between close call right at the bottom of the screen heading to the right, and Michael Hansen and DeWalt Tools trying to come up on him.
This is a downstream turn. It's turn 1, and the current carries the rough water swirling.
You see Michael Hansen skidding a bit as he went through the turn. Now here's Mark Tate trying to make up water on Mark Evans and Pico. And in turn, Michael Hansen trying to move up on close call in DeWalt Tools.
One of the things that Mark Evans as a driver is doing is he's reading the water out in front of his boat, and he's trying to leave the boats in second and third place, the nasty water, which is going to slow him down.
The Zodiac average lap speed, 152 miles an hour for Pico in the lead, and the team has really worked. The crew has really been at it, bringing this boat up to speed.
Well, they put a new strut on the boat, and they have it on there perfectly, because I'll tell you what, the ride this boat's getting is phenomenal.
Mark Tate, though, is closing the gap a bit on Pico. Evans still holding the lead. One more time into that downstream turn, followed by close call, and then DeWalt Tools, and then the Gargoyles Nitro with Steve David driving. 144 miles an hour, the Zodiac average lap speed for Mark Tate. He's got it going, although that's 8 miles an hour slower than the lap speed earlier by Pico.
Actually, a real close race for first, second, and third. Both boats are distance about the same.
Very important to keep good, solid control of that boat. He's got one more turn to go through, does Mark Evans, to take Heat 1A here on the Columbia River. Sponsor to sponsor in a bit, but good control indeed for him. He is going to take the checkered flag. Our first winner, second place. Mark Tate in the close call, a good run. And Michael Hansen, the pride of Madison, Indiana, in third with the DeWalt Tools. Stephen David will get fourth in the Gargoyles Nitro. That's the Jim Harvey U2. And as we check the Fruit of the Loom results, we see our rookie, John Watkins, did finish, but only the first 6 places get points, so he does not get any here. Coverage of the Budweiser Columbia Cup is sponsored by Las Vegas, open 24 hours. By Zodiac, official timers of UHRA. And by Jasper Engines and Transmissions.
I've never been to Las Vegas.
Welcome to my town.
Checked into my hotel. It's a pyramid. Look at this place. This is amazing.
The lights, the shows.
There are lots of great shows in Las Vegas. I found out a new code.
24/7.
It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And they're not kidding.
Never sleep.
Totally amazing.
There'll be plenty of time to rest when I get, back to work. So, you want to talk to me?
Sit down. When I was your age, there was this group of guys. Crazy bunch they were. They were always trying to get me to stay out all hours, chase women, party till dawn. But I didn't. And you know what?
You wish you had.
Every day of my life.
Coulda.
Woulda.
Shoulda.
Joster. We better do the good stuff now.
All right, let me see those game faces.
We need love.
You're out here to play baseball, right?
Right! We need encouragement.
Supersonic speed of Mach 2.4.
We need inspiration.
We need rides!
Introducing used vehicles reconditioned, warranted, and ready for life. GM certified. At Firestone, we take our competitive traditions seriously. Take our sale on steel-belted radials. Now competitively priced at $4 for $99 with a 45,000-mile limited warranty. So hurry into Firestone.
You know, be a really good anchor would be that MacGyver guy, you know. He'd be a good anchor. That guy that was on TJ Hooker, was Dance Fever guy. He was pretty good.
Welcome back to Tri-Cities, Washington, where the boats are away, heading for the start of Heat 1B. Here's Jerry Hale on the X side. He's the other rookie heading out onto the course. Tom Deeth is down on the dock to talk with Mark Tate, a close call. He had kind of a tough time running in Heat 1A. Came in second.
From a driver's point of view, talk us through the start in that first turn.
Well, going into the first turn, you're really going to have to settle the boat. I did settle it, I thought, well enough, and got after the pedals and dropped the canard to try and keep as much air under it as I could after I settled it. We just hit some rollers, though, and reacted just past the apex, and I'm just going to have to drive the boat a little different in racing conditions.
It looked like it jumped up and changed a couple of lanes and drifted over a little bit. Did it do that?
Absolutely, Tom. It's exactly what it did. Once it hit a couple of holes, the boat just kind of picked up and lifted across a couple lanes, and you know, you got to de-accelerate a little bit there, correct, and by the time you get back after the power, the guys have caught you, and they got their full power and going by you. So, it's not what we had hoped for, but it's kind of what we expected.
And the boat's now warming up for Heat 1B. Jerry Hale, the rookie, will be the trailer in this one, as John Watkins was in Heat 1A. By contrast, the two backgrounds of the rookies quite different. Watkins, a former crew member. Hale's been driving smaller boats for 3 decades. Calls himself the oldest rookie.
There's nothing like the ride of a hydroplane in the whole world. And, you know, once you've been doing that for 30 years, you become pretty familiar with it. And, of course, that was there. But the overall speed and, again, hustling through the turns has been the difference.
Here is the lineup for Heat 1B, and the odds-on favorite will be Dave Villwock in Miss Budweiser. Mark Webber was the 7th qualifier. He is the next closest qualifier to Budweiser in this heat. And again, Jerry Hale will be the trailer in Heat 1B. As they get set to head up for the hoped-for green flag here. They're going to get it. And Dave Villwock, in pursuit of the streak, jumps out to a quick lead on the outside, though. A couple of pretty fast boats. They've got a long way to go.
None of the other fast qualifiers are in this heat, though. Team Steel, Mark Webber is the 7th fastest qualifier. Budweiser on the inside, sneaking through the first turn.
Again, a little light there by Dave Villwock, but I'd say he's got it under control.
Well, in Heat 1A, the lane 1 was pretty rough, and it looks like, though, Dave Villwock and the Budweiser just skated through that first turn beautifully.
He has got that boat. This is the T5, the newest of the Budweiser boats. The crew has got it set up extremely well, and he is one heck of a driver, as just shown by his record this year alone. Yet to lose.
Perfect score so far, and very cautious, though, in this opening heat for the Budweiser for today's racing. Team Steel, Mark Webber, a real strong second place.
Nate Brown in truck gear third, and here is Jimmy King in Elstrom's Elam Plus in fourth, going through the slop. The race for second between Steele and truck gear looks like a good one. Steele bouncing sponson to sponson going into that downriver turn. Bernie Little on the dock cheering on his Miss Budweiser, as he always does. He looks pretty satisfied to this moment. We're beyond the halfway point now, and Dave Villwock with a really solid lead going along the backstretch in Miss Budweiser. What about the pressure of never having lost so far this year?
Well, the pressure really is Dave puts on himself, because he's trying to tie that streak and, if you know, and break it if he can. But the pressure is really from within.
147 miles an hour, the average lap speed of the Zodiac time. Mark Webber still strong in the steel. From the Levat Eye in the sky, you see the lead that Villwock has in the Budweiser, and you see the tough conditions going around that downstream turn. One last time for David. Handles it very well. Closer than you might think is Mark Webber, and now coming along the inside, Nate Brown in truck gear. 142 miles an hour on the Zodiac average lap speed for Team Steel. Mark Webber now we would call the man of steel. But Dave Villwock is the man who has not really been pressed very much so far this year. Here Here comes Budweiser looking for the checkered flag in Heat 1B. And Dave Villwock takes yet another one. That is 17 wins in a row. Mark Webber will take second in Fred Leland's Team Steel. Jimmy King in Elstrom's Miss Elam Plus grabs third. And Nate Brown in the truck here, something has slowed him down. But all the boats have finished Heat 1B, and down on the dock, Tom is with Bernie Little. 9-time winner here since 1966.
Now that we've seen 2 heats of competition, what's your thoughts on lane choice?
Well, you know, I'm not so sure that lane 1 is the place to be. And I want to wait and talk to Dave a little bit. I don't know. I never seen it so rough on the Columbia River. That's really rough. I think that there's so much snow and melted, and it's put the most current in here that I've ever seen, and I think that's working against us. And but that's the roughest racing I've seen on the Columbia River.
Rough as it might have been, effective driving by Dave Villwock. 400 points again as we check the Fruit of the Loom results. And the Spirit of Lake Chelan, the piston-powered boat, at the bottom of the standings there. Can Dave Villwock keep winning? We'll be back to find out.
The brand new limited edition Disney Winnie the Pooh postage stamps are now available. The International Collectors Society is now offering the only collector's set ever issued to commemorate the evolution of Winnie the Pooh from a real bear born in Winnipeg, Canada, to a cartoon icon beloved around the world. Demand for this limited edition set has been so overwhelming, experts are already predicting this set will be prized by you and your loved ones for generations to come. Not available at your local post office, you can only get them through this special television offer. The complete set of stamps is only $9.95. You'll also receive a numbered certificate of authenticity and a protective display holder. But that's not all. When you order, you'll also get this beautiful Disney Winnie the Pooh airmail stamp, an $8 value absolutely free. Remember, you get the legal tender Disney Winnie the Pooh stamps, a numbered certificate of authenticity, and protective display holder, all for $9.95. And when you act now, you'll also receive this stunning Disney Winnie the Pooh airmail stamp, an $8 value absolutely free. There's a limit of 6 per household. Call toll-free now.
I worked Fag Hats Rock and Roll Outlaws tour, so I know about groupies. I took a psychology course at the community college, so I understand what these WNBA groupies are going through. I empathize. Discovering love for fundamentally superior basketball. But on the other hand, I find them to be, losers. I mean, for most guys, it's legs. For them, it's usually a nice fall-away jumper.
Utah-Houston, Tuesday at 7:30 on ESPN.
Welcome back to the Budweiser Columbia Cup as we fly over the Tri-Cities area here in the high desert of southern Washington, nearing the start of Heat 2A. Tom is down in the pits with our first rookie to withdraw.
What specifically is wrong with the Miss Tri-Cities?
Well, we got major crack inside the hull. Difficult to see from the outside. It looks fine from outside, but if you look close, we got a major crack running basically up the backside of the sponson all the way to the bottom of the boat. So a difficult one to get at, difficult one to patch. So like I said, can't see it from the outside, but we know it's there. We don't want to risk it.
Ken Muscatel has problems too. He lost a tail and high wing, but he's going to run as we check the 2A starting lineup. It's reverse order from the previous heat, so Ken Muscatel, gets the inside. Dave Villwock next to the outside. The piston-powered Spirit of Lake Chelan will be the pace boat. And as we go for the green flag, how does Budweiser get past the 4 boats inside him?
Well, he's got to time the start perfectly, the green flag start, and he's got to actually stay wide enough, long enough, so he doesn't foul any of the other boats.
As we go around that first downriver turn, the Elstrom's Elam Plus with Jimmy King falling back, and apparently the engine is not going to work anymore. But we have got to race into the backstretch. In the front now, Dave Villwock jumping ahead of Michael Hansen and DeWalt Tools, and trying to keep up is Mitch Evans in the Packet Engines Appy and Geronimo. Look at the power of Budweiser. Ken Muscatel now has fallen back, so Mitch Evans here in the Packet Engines Appy and Geronimo has the inside track and is moving up into second place, past DeWalt Tools and Michael Hansen as we go into the turn. Budweiser on the outside, still with the lead, and DeWalt now in third place.
Budweiser must be running like a 3-mile course because he's really staying wide, giving everybody inside him lots of room.
But flying just a little right here.
We're in the cockpit now with Dave, and you can see him getting bounced around. The steering wheel shaking and his body just vibrating.
drive these boats. Mitch Evans, who took second in the Detroit Gold Cup behind Bill Walk this year, running a strong race, and Appy and Geronimo. And Michael Hansen now is hanging on in third with the Madison, Indiana DeWalt Tools.
Jerry Rice has got to be extremely happy. His boat's running a strong second place. He's got DeWalt on his hip, and it looks like they're doing a fine job.
Average lap speed of 152 miles an hour from Michael Hansen on the Zodiac lap timer, and Budweiser at 149 miles an hour, but he's got the lead and doesn't have to go as fast.
Now he can kind of put it on cruise control and just look for the good water. At this point, he's got the race well in hand with less than a lap to go.
This will be, if he can do it, 18 wins in a row in heats for Dave Billwalk in Miss Budweiser. The only heat he lost, he actually came in first but was penalized, the first heat of the season in Detroit. 156 miles an hour on the Zodiac average speed, and oh, the crew was loving it on the dock for the Jerry Rise, Appy, and Geronimo team. But Mitch Evans is still in second. Dave Billwalk right here is in first, and he will take the checkered flag to win Heat 2A. Bernie, very happy as usual. Dave removes the required safety mask, and we'll head into the docks as we check the results. Once again, Budweiser on top. Ken Muscatel got all the way through and picked up some points. Here's Tom with a winner.
Another win from lane 5, though, this time.
Well, the Bud team gave me a lot of suds right there, boy. Boat ran awful good. A lot of straightaway speed, so we're able to get it out front and, you know, get away from the boys. But good boat ride, too. You know, it's tough to get a good boat ride. You know, you can have a lot of speed, but if you can't use it, it doesn't do it a heck of a lot of good. So, you know, it was nice that we could run the boat as hard as we could and still run it through in lane 5 with a lot of speed on the outside here. So
you gave us a little excitement, though. Lap 2 coming into this corner, got up on its side.
Yeah, a little bit, but what the heck, that just makes boat racing fun.
Well, Dave qualified first. The next 2 qualifiers are coming up in the next heat, along with this guy, rookie Jerry Hale.
Such wilderness, William.
Today, yes, Jacques, but someday it'll be a great country.
You think so?
Absolutely. You see, they shall perfect a game called hockey, invent the telephone, rescue England and France twice, and make one incredibly good beer, a true Canadian lager.
Oh, Sacre Bleu.
Yes, that's it.
Labatt Blue, true Canadian lager. Your heart pounds. Your head rings. Your palms sweat. Imagine how the drivers feel. Michael Andretti, Bobby Rahal, Alex Zanardi, the Miller 200. Sunday, August 10th, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 Central on ABC. Karts Championship Auto Racing Team. Feel the speed.
RPM tonight, Monday through Saturday at 7 and Sunday at 8, only on ESPN2.
Welcome back to the Jasper Unlimited Thunder Tour, presented by Las Vegas from Tri-Cities, Washington. A beautiful 90-degree day here in the high desert. The boats are on for Heat 2B, but Miss Truck Gear, scheduled to go, will not. Take a look at the crack in the sponson here. This simply is not going to be fixable in time to run for Nate Brown today. Michael Hansen doing some work on the propeller. Just what makes these big boats go? Professor Tom Deeth, the quick course in Pico Performance Corner.
Let's do a quick 101 on the gas turbine engine for hydroplane racing. The air intake is up here. The air comes through the intake into the compressor section where it's compressed it gets into the burner can where combustion occurs in the exhaust section, which is the business end of this turbine motor. But there is no thrust benefit from the exhaust that comes out of here. This is not where the propulsion comes from. The propeller actually pushes the boat forward through a series of shafts connected to the gearbox, and it gets its power directly from the motor.
Thank you, Professor Deeth. Now that we know what makes them go, let's take a look at the lineup for Heat 2B. Stephen David in the Gargoyles Nitro gets the inside. Again, a reverse setup from the finish in Heat 1. We are looking for the green flag, and we have got it.
This is going to be a great heat. We've got Mark Webber and Team Steel in lane 2, close call, and the Pico American Dream drifting back in lane 4.
From the Labatt Eye in the Sky, keep in mind, close call qualified second here at over 161, and Pico did 164 this morning. Steel has done over 157, and Steel right now is looking very strong again.
Steel on the inside, just slightly behind the close call going down the backstretch. Gargoyles Nitro running in third place inside of the Steel boat.
That is Steve David in the Jim Harvey entry. From this angle, it looks to me as if Mark Webber is taking the lead or very close to it, really taking advantage of coming around on the inside of this turn.
A lot of momentum coming through that corner. Both boats coming off the turn side by side, deck-to-deck battle down the front straightaway.
Tate moving. Closing up. Stephen David is down, at least for the moment, but we have got a race here between Mark Webber and Team Steel and Mark Tate in close call as they come around that turn again from the Labatt Eye in the Sky. Look how close and how rough.
Turn 1, notoriously rough. The current is carrying those wakes right out into the corner in the middle of the turn and giving everybody a hard time. You can see from in the cockpit there, close call running a strong second at Steel.
149 miles an hour, the Zodiac average lap speed for Mark Webber and Team Steel, and still Mark Tate is right behind him at 146 miles an hour average speed.
From a driver's point of view now, Mark Webber has got to use up all the race course he can, kind of hide the turn going into turn 1 as they're coming down the front straightaway and turn a little bit late, giving himself an advantage over the close call.
Once again from the Labatt Eye in the Sky, Webber running a little bit wide around that turn. Look at the splashing from that. And Tate will try to go inside now.
Tate's looking for some better water. He couldn't do it. Now back to the outside again, crossing the wake one more time. What that does, when he crosses that wake, it slows him down and Team Steel just keeps pulling away.
So a good strategic run here by Mark Webber and Team Steel.
He's using his head in the cockpit. Those are the defensive tactics that you can use as a driver to keep the guys behind you.
It's worked out very well for him. He's going to get the checkered flag in this one. A little light for Mark Tate. He's not giving up as he comes around the corner, but he's not going to get there. Mark Webber takes Heat 2B in Team Steel. Another win for the Fred Leland team. And the boys on the dock are mighty happy about that. Mark Tate will come in second in close call. Mark Evans and Pico American Dream is third, and Stephen David did get the Gargoyles Nitro going again. He will take fourth, but Miss Exide not able to finish. So there are the Fruit of the Loom results. Team Steel now at 700 points after 2 rounds. Tom's with the winner.
Seesaw battle for first place.
Oh, man. Too cool, Tommy, too cool.
First, second, back to first.
Oh, man, I seen Tater out there, and just like big old 5-liter race. I just was hanging on, keeping that Steel number 99 where it needed to be. Them holes in turn 1 get your attention, but it's a tribute to this crew, man. We're on a roll. We're going to keep going. Here, Kelowna and then Seattle. First, we're going to finish off the day.
Welcome to the Northwest.
Oh, this is pretty nice out here, I think.
Speaking of Kelowna, which Mark was, that race will air August 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern here on the Deuce. Problems for the Jim Harvey entry, the Gargoyles Nitro. A little bit of delamination. Back with more from Tri-Cities in just a moment. Stay with us.
Win the grand prize of Powerades Under the Cap promotion, and they'll build you your very own sports facility where you can end up spending your days, nights, months, years Your whole life constantly training. Pretty cool, huh? Other products include Powerade branded athletic gear, discounts at Champ Sports, and free Powerade. Odds of scoring are 1 in 4, so check under the cap. Powerade, I'm not done.
So you're saying that a fluoride toothpaste that I can use every day also gives me whiter teeth? I don't believe it.
Believe it. Aquafresh Whitening gives you all the fluoride of Crest, and it's clinically proven to get teeth whiter.
Yeah? Well, what makes Aquafresh Whitening so great?
Aquafresh's patented TriClean formulas gently breaks up stains without bleach or peroxide to get teeth their whitest.
Twist my arm. I'll give it a try.
Aquafresh Whitening, safe to use every day for dazzling whiter teeth.
Versus Colorado, Saturday at 10, MLS on ESPN2.
Acres and acres of grapes producing fine wines here in the Columbia Valley and Washington's high desert. Welcome back to the 5th race on the Jasper Unlimited Hydroplane Tour presented by Las Vegas. And coincidentally, Dr. Ken Muscatel's Computers and Applications making a fix. They've been running with only one tail fin and no high wing because of damage in Heat 1. Nearing the start of 3A, the Appian Geronimo's had some impressive finishes, and crew chief Tim Ramsey gave us some insight on stepping it up.
We weren't able to take and dial in one area or another that enabled us to take and start concentrating on any one of those 3 parts. Unfortunately, we're grabbing at straws. Fortunately, some of the straws that we grabbed at were the right straws. That got us going the right direction, and we've been fine-tuning from there.
And the lineup for 3A finds Mark Webber and Team Steel on the inside. Jerry Hale will still trail the rookie in Miss Exide, the Mike Jones entry. Miss Elam is out, will not be running. Steve David and Gargoyles Nitro didn't make it. And we look at the start from the Labatt Eye in the Sky on the inside. It is Mark Webber in Team Steel grabbing the lead.
Mark Webber, Team Steel, leading coming off of turn 1, heading down the backstretch. Appian Geronimo running neck and neck with Michael Hansen into DeWalt.
These are 3 evenly matched boats, 3 very fine drivers, and it should make for a close race all the way through. The rookie Jerry Hale right into 4th place now with 2 boats dropping out, but the lead belongs at this moment to Mark Webber as he comes around the turn in the Fred Leland Team Steel. Right behind him, Michael Hansen and Mitch Evans, the DeWalt Tools, and the Packet Engines Appian Geronimo.
Mark Webber doing a beautiful job. Defensive driving now is what you start doing. Looking for that good water, heading down the front straightaway. He's got Michael way on the outside. I'm sure Michael, if he knew where he was at, he'd close it up a little bit next to Mark Webber.
3-lap race in this Heat 3A. Webber holds the lead. And let's see if he can pour it on in the backstretch as he heads toward the halfway point. 146 miles an hour, the average speed, and the Zodiac lap time for Michael Hansen. 145 for Mitch Evans in the Packet Engines Appian Geronimo. That's how close they are just in terms of the speed. And yet, here's the guy still holding the lead.
He's holding the lead, and he's got the race course all to himself. He comes in tight, drifts out wide, lets the boat have its head coming off the turn so it accelerates better. Michael Hansen can do nothing but just ride on his hip and try and chase him down.
And as we just saw, 150 miles an hour, the average lap speed for Mark Webber in Team Steel. Now, this was the backup boat for the Pico. How strong a boat is Steel?
Well, this is a very strong boat. They've nicknamed this boat Lucky. It rides good in rough water. It's a fast boat. It's the boat that Dave Bilwalk won the Gold Cup with last year.
And Mark Webber, as we've mentioned earlier, is an awfully good driver, though not terribly experienced yet at the unlimited hydro level.
Mark's got a lot of experience in the limited inboard ranks. He's won national championships in many classes, and he's getting his feet wet in the unlimited.
And what he's doing right now is getting set to take the checkered flag in Heat 3A. The other teams maintaining their positions as Webber comes in number 1. DeWalt Tools and Michael Hansen, not far behind at all, takes 2nd place. And Mitch Evans in the Packet Engines, Appy and Geronimo will take third. And the rookie, Jerry Hale in Exide, fourth at 128 miles an hour. Jimmy King not able to start in Miss Elam Plus. Steve David didn't start either. Let's find out why.
So we've got some hull damage at the back of the boat then from the previous heat.
Yeah, significant, and that's honeycomb and Kevlar carbon fiber back there, so it's not a Bondo fix. It's got to be epoxy, and I don't know if the Gargoyles boy can take it. It's still wet in there, too. So they're making those decisions, and I'm just ready to go driving if they fix it.
Heard of the loom results from Heat 3A. Team Steel now with 1,100 points through 3 laps. Let's hear from the winner, Mark Webber.
Okay, Mark. 2 in a row for Team Steel, sawing up the competition.
I'll tell you what, that's one fast chainsaw right there. Yeah, 99. I thought, I'm not sure, but that could give us at least second lane choice in the final. We'll have to see how the numbers work out.
How'd the water look for the lane choices for the final?
Oh, I think I might want 2, but I have a feeling it'll be a big red boat there. We got to have 1, but I don't think Bud will be in 1, I know it. See what happens in 3. He ain't in yet.
Well, if that was 3A, 3B must be next, and we will see what happens. Can Dave Vilwalk make it 19 heats in a row? You know, we're going to find out.
These cars are getting a new lease on life with Jasper remanufactured engines and transmissions. Quality installation centers like mine choose Jasper for reliable performance, customer peace of mind, and the security of a nationwide warranty. And when it comes to testing, Jasper pulls out all the stops. So before you get into high monthly payments on a new car purchase or lease, look for this sign at your local installer to get the quality and value of Jasper.
A haunted ship.
I'm getting some really strange readings in here.
A missing crew.
This place is a tomb.
DJ, where are you?
And infinite evil.
Ship has been beyond the boundaries of our universe. Who knows what it brought back with it?
Vacate! I want off this ship.
You can't leave. She won't let you.
Event Horizon. Rated R. Starts Friday, August 15th everywhere.
Budweiser.
I can't believe they went with the frogs.
Louis.
Our audition was flawless.
Louis.
We did the look. Huh? We did the tongue thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was great.
Louis, frogs sell beer. That's it, man. Number 1 rule of marketing.
The Budweiser Lizards. We could have been huge.
Hey, there'll be other auditions.
Oh, yeah, for what? This was Budweiser, buddy.
No.
This was big. Those frogs are gonna pay.
Let it go, Louis. Let it go.
What if nothing stood between you and where you needed to go? It's like that at Shell, where it's easy to pay, pump, and go. Shell, moving at the speed of life.
We're back in Tri-Cities, and if you want to keep up with everything hydroplane, try the internet. An unlimited hydro website at www.uhra.com. Budweiser got to pick in this heat, did not pick the inside. Let's go down to docks and find out why.
Lane choice seems to be really important. We've noticed you've chosen lane 2. Is this a test?
This is a test. We're going to see if we can get around there in this heat and see if we can make a better choice for the final.
Water conditions a factor?
Big factor. Yeah, we managed to get through there pretty good, but our competition wasn't really very tough in that first heat, and then we took the outside in the second heat, so this is it.
So check the starting lineup, and we'll see Pico American Dream in lane 1, Budweiser in 2, and the very tough close call in lane 3 as we look for the green flag. There it is. We should note here there were quite a few warm-up laps here and 3 false efforts to get the green flag. 2 of them by Mark Tate ahead of the pace boat, so he's been penalized a lap. We're on board with Dave Vilwalk.
We're looking out the side of the cockpit. You can see the close call leading the Budweiser. They're going through turn 1 right now. That spray coming off that right sponson is when the sponson's digging in.
you really get a feel for the speed from that shot, and Dave Villwock has got it moving now along the backstretch. Through the spray, you can barely see. Close call. Then Pico in third place, but Villwock already with a good solid lead. On board with Mark Tate in close call.
Mark's running just to the outside, right on the hip of the Budweiser, crossing the wakes, sliding a little bit to the outside. He's trying hard. The boat's pushing wide.
149 miles an hour average lap speed in the Zodiac timer for Dave Villwock and Budweiser. He's looking for 19 heat wins in a row with this one.
Dave very comfortably in the lead, charging real hard. Pico on the inside of the wake of the Budweiser, but close call, flying it, coming up on the outside.
From the Levant Eye in the sky, look how close it is. Villwock will take advantage almost surely as he goes around this turn. And Mark Tate walking it around that, trying to come in second. In the inside now, it's going to be Mark Evans and Pico aboard with Villwock.
Back to the speed shot again. He's checking his mirrors out. He's looking at everything. He's checking out some of the instrumentation. Dave's got this race well in hand. He's just looking for good water.
And there we see, and will in a moment again, I think, yep, Ken Muscatel's computers and applications out, and Mark Tate blows by him pretty close.
Mark just barely missed him, used him almost for like an inside buoy. Dr. Ken Muscatel just dead in the water.
From the Levant Eye in the sky, we see Tate going very wide there, and Dave Villwock on the left of your screen opening it up and moving fast. This looks like another win for Dave right now.
That gives you a sensation of the speed. Look at the way the land is going by on the outside of that canopy.
All right, you get the idea from Bernie Little. It's another checkered flag for the Budweiser team, and Dave Villwock still unbeaten this year. Rick Christensen in Spirit of Lake Chelan is lap traffic. Here is Mark Evans taking second in the Pico American Dream. Close call, a close third. Ken Muscatel in computers and applications not able to finish, nor was Rick Christensen. He ran out of fuel. Word of the Loom results, perfect score for Budweiser once again. And we're going to give you a ride into the dock in the winning cockpit. Steer a straight course. Join the UHRA Winner's Circle. They'll send you results, newsletters, all kinds of things. Hydroplane. There's a toll-free number, so make the call. There it is, 1-800-203-1243. The Winner's Circle. Speaking of which, let's talk to Dave Villwock.
Your boss said that was a cakewalk. How was it? Well, it was harder from where I was sitting, but we had a good run. You know, it was just a long time, you know. Ken Muscatel barely made it in, so we ran around there 100 times, it seemed like, you know, before we got to start. So that's the way it goes.
Lane 2 that time, any difference from lane 1? Did you learn anything?
Yeah, I think the boat runs good there, you know. Got a good shot in and off the turn, so, and when it's rough like this, that's going to be important.
There's a lot more racing to come from the Columbia River here in Washington. Don't go away.
Have you ever considered a career as a commercial diver? If so, there's no better school to give you the training than Divers Institute of Technology. Whether it's working on offshore oil, underwater construction, raising sunken vessels on a salvage job, or doing hull repair, Divers Institute of Technology has the staff, the equipment, and the location to offer real open water training. Divers Institute of Technology. Call today to start your career as a commercial diver.
What would you give to be more confident? What would you give for the knowledge it takes to move with certainty through every business day?
Just $3.90 a week brings you the Wall Street Journal. Our personal finance guide and decision maker software is free with your paid 10-week subscription. Call now, 800-248-1300. That's 800-248-1300 for the Wall Street Journal.
This weekend, enough racing to make your head spin. We've got fast track, wet track, and all kinds of short track. It's a regular G-Force Love Fest. And you're invited. Here's what's up ahead this weekend. Friday at 2, Bud at the Glen qualifying. Saturday at 5, Miller 200 qualifying. Sunday at 7:45, Grand Prix of Hungary on ESPN2.
Back in the pits here in Tri-Cities, the unlimited crews, such as the Pico American Dream crew right here, getting set for the final of the Unlimiteds. But on the water, the unlimited light final set to go. 9 boats in this one. Dave Bender on the inside, Greg Hopp the trailer, and Graham Trucking. This should be one heck of a race. There's a little lightness right in the middle as we go for the green flag. Very, very close competitively, and right away it is the Alamo with Bo Scheid jumping out from the green flag. That's the Alamo in the lead.
These boats are powered with Chevrolets and Fords, big block motors, 511 cubic inches, on pump gasoline. A lot of horsepower for the weight.
And a pretty good amount of noise, too, which pumps up the crowd.
Well, we like to call these the Junior Gold Cup boats, and boy, they're putting on a great show right now. Here you see Bo Scheid. We're in the cockpit with him. The right foot on the gas pedal. His left foot, that's operating that canard wing that's right between the sponsons in front of him.
Ned Allen is the owner of Alamo. Race for second place now on the outside, closer to you. Wildfire on the inside. It's Aquatropic, and Wildfire seems to be getting the better of it.
That's George Stratton in the Wildfire and Bo Scheid out front in the Alamo rental car.
2 yellow boats in first and second place, and then the Aquatropic with Dave Bender in third.
Bo Scheid is just checking out on the field right now. He's already in turn 1, heading down the backstretch again.
And as Bo opens up that lead, we should know Dennis Macy in the Menace is out after only 1 lap. He had success earlier, but not today. The race for second now is opening up, and George Stratton moving ahead in Wildfire. Aquatropics is falling back with Dave Bender.
These boats are about 22 feet long, and they weigh just over 2,000 pounds, so they're about 2/3 the size of a Gold Cup boat.
You can hear the snarl of the engines as they run around this shorter course than what the Unlimiteds run.
Any one of 5 drivers could win this race. The start is really a key part of this. Brian Reynolds won a couple of races here last year. Dennis Macy won last weekend. Quite a competitive field. In the cockpit again with Bo Scheid. He's flat on the gas, right foot on the pedal, left foot holding it conservatively to the down position to keep the front of that boat down.
From the Labatt Eye in the sky, the race for second place, and in third now, falling back Aquatropic, but up here in front, it is still Bo Scheid on Alamo. Wildfire running second.
That's a brand spanking new Ron Jones designed and built boat this year, and I know George Stratton is loving every second in the cockpit of that boat.
Coming around the last turn, Bo Scheid with Alamo looking for that checkered flag. Oh, he looks good. And oh, he is going to take it. Big win for the Alamo team. George Stratton and Wildfire second. Dave Bender, Miss Aquatropics presents Holiday Inn Express third. And this boat, Brian Reynolds, Miss Seafirst Bank, takes fourth. Here's Dave Bender coming in. We check the Fruit of the Loom results and see Alamo at the top and the Menace, which did not finish beyond lap 1 at the back. At the docks, who's happier, owner Ned Allen or driver Bo Scheid? Let's go to Tom.
Great job. Quite a victory.
I'll tell you what, it's just completely awesome. We had a good lane choice. We were in 2, and I told Ned, I want to win this thing real bad today. I said, let's take that chip out that limits our rev limiter. I said, I'll just use it for the start and coming out of the corner, and that's all I did. And it got a little bit rougher, but our boat, the Alamo boat's just so awesome on rough water, and it handles great. And we just got out front and just kind of held everybody off, and it just feels awesome to be here for the first time.
Unlimited's next, and the Pico team is still at it. Hurry up, guys. Everybody else is heading out into the water.
Great beer taste, only 70 calories, and only from Anheuser-Busch. The non-alcohol brew for any occasion.
These days, we could all use more endurance. And now I've got it. Because new high endurance deodorant from Old Spice lasts a full 24 hours. No one else is this strong, this long, guaranteed. Hey, no matter what you're into, now you got all the endurance you need. A full 24 hours.
Troy Aikman is back to pass. He's looking, and ooh, Aikman's down.
He had a man wide open. What was this guy thinking?
Brute, it's all part of the game.
All right, guys, same play.
For years, ESPN has been working to improve sports for the fan.
Designed to extend the season for fans in places like frigid Lambeau Field, the Toasty Ball is heated by a small plutonium furnace. But at 130 degrees, it's too hot to handle.
But experiments like Toasty Ball did lead to a breakthrough in coverage for all sports. ESPN Sports Zone. With Chris Mortenson's column, drive charts, everything you need to be a better fan. ESPN Sports Zone. Technology for you.
Welcome back. Near the start of the Budweiser Columbia Cup final here on the Jasper Unlimited Thunder Tour. The lineup finds Budweiser in lane 2. That's what Dave Villwock picked. Mark Webber picked next, but he took lane 3.
Well, that's what Team Leland wanted. They wanted the Pico on the inside, so Mark Webber had to take lane 3 outside the Bud.
And as we get the green flag, you see Pico indeed in lane 1, Budweiser in 2, Team Steel in lane 3, close call in lane 4, and then DeWalt Tools and Appy and Geronimo.
With 7 boats in this field, the water conditions are going to really be violent.
They'll start in the Labatt Eye in the sky. We see into this downstream turn where the water's been rough. Look how close the boats are. Budweiser has the lead. Dave Villwock, and he's up in the air, and he is over.
Upside down, a blowover right at the apex of the corner to the exit point. The Miss Budweiser got upside down and backwards. This is a red flag situation. Terrible situation. There we go, red flag. Some of the boats still running, but what happens is all the boats have to stop on the course. You can see the current. There's the debris field for the boat. It's floating down. The rescue boat's on the way.
And we have no way of knowing at this point just what kind of shape Dave Villwock is in. We know that there is an extensive safety system inside the boat. We don't know, in fact, if he's conscious or not. The Budweiser crew on the dock, Bernie Little, Dave's wife, Pam, all obviously extremely concerned, as well they should be. And now the rescuers have gotten Dave Villwock out through the escape hatch on the overturned Budweiser. Still no word yet as to how badly hurt he is. Let's take another look at it.
This is our shot from the Labatt Eye in the sky. The Budweiser is hitting some rollers there, walking back and forth. You can see the right sponson is already in the air. The back of the boat's skipping, nothing but the prop in the water now and upside down and backwards.
You've been there, Tom. What is that like?
That's a scary feeling, I'll tell you. There's nothing good going to happen from that point on. You're just holding on for dear life.
And there's nothing, in fact, you can do. Here it is, looking from the infield.
The water conditions are what caused this. Rotating around the propeller, upside down, pancake landing right on its top.
They now have Dave into the shore in the ambulance and will take him away for treatment. We understand that he has injured his hand and has various other injuries. We don't have exact details yet as to what has happened. Here it is from inside the Budweiser. Let's find out what Bernie Little can tell us about Dave's condition.
He has a serious hand damage, and we're going to try to see if we get him flown into Spokane or something, because you got a lot of muscles to attach and what have you. And I don't know how that happened, but it's just too soon for us to tell when we get the boat upside down here and look it over.
Our best to Dave for a speedy recovery. There will be a final. We'll have it in a moment.
Mike Piazza spends 9 innings destroying his hair and 90 seconds bringing it back with the shampoo that conditions too, Pert Plus. Because Mike wants great hair with plenty of time for other things. Don't you? Pert Plus. Simply great hair. Simply.
So, you want to talk to me?
Sit down. When I was your age, there was this group of guys. Crazy bunch they were. They were always trying to get me to stay out all hours, chase women. Party till dawn, but I didn't. And you know what?
You wish you had.
Every day of my life,
Coulda.
Woulda.
Shoulda.
Joster. Better do the good stuff now.
At Firestone, we take our competitive traditions seriously. Take our sale on steel-belted radials. Now competitively priced at 4 for $99 with a 45,000-mile limited warranty. So hurry into Firestone.
Hey man, ESPN serving up a summer of love, love, love. The Great American Insurance ATP Championships. Coverage continues tomorrow at 3:30 on ESPN and 7:30 on ESPN2. Advantage you, man.
ESPN2 coverage of the Budweiser Columbia Cup is sponsored by Las Vegas, open 24 hours. By Labatt Blue. And by Jasper Engines and Transmissions. We are just about set for a restart of the Columbia Cup Championship. It will now be the two Leland boats on the inside. Mark Evans and Pico, Mark Webber and Steele, then Mark Tate in close call, Michael Hansen and DeWalt Tools, Mitch Evans driving Packet Engines, Appy and Geronimo, and the rookie Jerry Hale trailing in Miss Exide. Into the first turn, we watch from the Labatt Eye of the Sky.
Close call, got a good lead going into the turn. The two Leland boats side by side, but the Steele boat drifting wide now, heading over toward close call.
Mark Evans keeping very tight to the buoys in the inside lane. He wants to get that first win of the year here. He was the guy who finished up the season for Budweiser last year, and then Dave Bilwalk took over the boat. Right now, Mark Tate is trying to take over the lead in close call phone card, and a little light there for the Pico.
Tightening up the radius, he's putting a squeeze play on the Pico American Dream. He wants to win this heat badly. Both these guys want to win this.
Sponson to Sponson there, heading down the front straightaway. Lap one, finishing up aboard with Mark Tate.
There we are aboard with Mark Tate, heading into turn one again. Whoa! Almost another blowover. That rough water in turn one has taken another victim.
Absolutely incredible how close we see these boats coming to going over, even after these drivers knowing what happened to Dave Bilwalk.
Well, it took every bit of experience Mark Tate had. He had to turn the boat back to the right to keep it from blowing over, and then once it settled down, go back to racing again.
So Mark Tate now has fallen back in second place, and Mark Evans taking advantage by jumping out ahead on the Pico American Dream.
Mark Evans in the upper turn. Notice the smoother water in the upper turn. Mark Evans also drifting wider coming off that turn, keeping the momentum of the boat up, keeping the boat speed up.
You get the feel for how big a lead he has as we get set to go on board with Mark Tate again.
You can barely see the rooster tail in front of the close call as Mark Evans leads this race. Beautiful shot from our eye in the sky.
The Pico team has worked so hard to get this boat into fast racing shape. It apparently is being successful for them.
That boat's always run good in rough water, and you can see the beating these boats are taking in turn 1 and 2, but the upper turn is noticeably smoother.
Zodiac lap speed showing 148 miles an hour for the Pico, 144 for the close call, and it is Mark Webber in Team Steele running third, the other Fred Leland boat, which started in lane 3. Then Mitch Evans, driving the Packet Engines, Appy and Geronimo, is back in 5th place, which would put Michael Hansen and DeWalt in 4th. Once again around the turn for Mark Evans. Followed by Mark Tate, and you can see how good a lead Mark Evans has right now. Still, Mark Tate is not about to give this up. It is a 5-lap race, and he's got a lot of power in that boat.
Well, after the hit that he took in that turn, trying to take the lead, it takes a while for the driver to regroup. You get stunned. It's like a prize fighter punching you out.
Let's see if we can get a feel for that as we stay on board. There's the rooster tail that Mark Tate is chasing. Mark Evans really has got it going. This should be it. Pico American Dream takes the Budweiser Columbia Cup. That's the reaction you would expect from the dock. Close call, Mark Tate not quite close enough, but a strong finish, and Mark Webber takes 3rd. So, here are the results. Pico American Dream, close call in Team Steele, and the Budweiser winds up with 1,200 points, though it did not run. So far on the year, Budweiser, though, still has the lead in the O'Doul's high points. Tom?
First win for 97 and a wild one.
Oh, man, let me tell you what. I got tears in my eyes on this one. This was extra special for me, guys. My crew did such a good job putting that strut together and all that we've been talking about this whole race, you know. And it's unfortunate about Bud. Feel sorry for him, but Pico pulled together, and we had all that energy of all our fans and the Wisney family and the Pico people and the employees back east. By the way, thanks, you guys. I'm happy as can be.
Dave Ilwach's been flown to Seattle for surgery on his hand. He's definitely out for the season, and our thoughts are with him. The Unlimited Hydroplane Series is produced by Diamond P Sports in association with ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.